Hey guys, how are y'all doing? I just left my first appointment with a therapist. Obviously, being the first appointment, there didn't get a whole lot accomplished. It was mainly doing the background stuff and, how was your childhood? Mom and dad get along okay? That kind of thing. I had to touch just a little bit on my PTSD diagnosis, but luckily, she said there wasn't really any need to rehash that since I had already, gone and talked to psychiatrists and psychologists about that before. I guess her just knowing that that's there and what it surrounds has to do with was enough. I guess she didn't really have to know the details. But she talked a lot about how we're going to attack it by sort of doing the cognitive behavioral therapy, eventually, work our way into me pushing back, as she said it, against the anxiety and all those thoughts of, like, where I'm at night when I feel the need to, go in there and check on the kids and make sure they're breathing, or, if they cough or whimper or, any of the stuff that makes me feel like I need to go in there and check on them. Not doing that, because she said that feeds the anxiety and makes it bigger. She used a comparison of, kids thinking there's a monster in their closet when it's really a shirt, and the more they don't go look at it, then the monster gets bigger and bigger and bigger in their mind, and then, by the time they're grown, when they're 40, it's, they're never going to open the closet because the monster's the size of a city, when it was really just a shirt all along. So, it makes sense. Easier said than done. I've never done that kind of therapy before, so I have no idea kind of what's gonna be happening as far as all of the other ways that my anxiety manifests, and but we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic. Past experiences with therapists and psychiatrists, I don't get my hopes up too much, but I'm trying at the same time to not psych myself out and kind of sabotage myself before I give it a chance, because I have a tendency to do that, I have noticed. I just think, well, that's not going to work, and then it either doesn't work because I didn't put everything into it, or I quit because I don't think it's gonna work. So, but I can't do that anymore because I have little people depending on me for me to straighten my crap out. And I don't want to keep being this way either. I don't want to miss out on their childhoods, and I don't want to worry myself into a stroke or a heart attack, or, you know, I want to be able to be, you know, fun and, you know, be able to watch them have experiences without holding my breath and, you know, be careful the whole time. You know, one time's enough. Hey, be careful, have fun. That's plenty. Relinquishing control also seemed to be brought up several times, which I have a hard time doing. But just realizing that you don't have control over what happens. You can do what you can do. Like, if they're sick, you can take them to the doctor and give them their, you know, their medicine, and, you know, take all the normal precautions. But aside from that, you know, it's out of your control. It's, you know, what will be, I guess. And that is very hard for me to accept. Because when something bad happens, I have a tendency to do the, I should have done this, if I would have done this, you know, if only this, if, you know, I do that a lot, to the obsessive degree. I guess that's the OCD. I don't know. She was, I mean, she was nice. And I think, you know, I think I'm gonna give it a shot, a true shot, and see how it goes. Even though I'm cautiously optimistic, you know, I am hopeful. Maybe there's a little light peeking through the clouds. We'll see, you know. There's I've got a lot to fight for. So I had this today, and then I have the psychiatrist on the 30th. She was actually gonna set me up with a psychiatrist because she thinks that I need to be better regulated with meds in order for therapy to actually work like it's supposed to. Because, you know, I can do all the work in therapy, but if my chemical imbalances aren't in check, then it's not going to be doing me any good. It's not going to work if I've got chemicals fighting against me. So I don't know. The breastfeeding is the main hurdle with the meds, because a lot of the really good anti-anxiety meds, like, you know, the Valium, that really helps me, you can't take while you're breastfeeding, because it does, you know, pass through breast milk, and the baby gets it. So I don't know. We'll have to see that next week. Yeah, next week. So we'll see what they say and kind of what my options are as far as meds, and we'll go from there. But I had myself all worked up. I was dreading going in today and having to go through everything all over again, especially after my last experience with a therapist. Did I tell you about that? I don't think I did. She was crazy. Like, she was a therapist, and the last time I saw her, she was so doped out of her head that she could not hold her eyes open. She could barely hold her head up. She was nodding off, and I was like, what the hell? So then after that, I had my first miscarriage. So who are you supposed to call when something like that happens? Well, your therapist would be, the top of your list. I would imagine, top 5 at least. So I call her and tell her what happened. And her response was, "Oh, don't worry about that. You didn't want that one anyway. There was something wrong with it." Excuse me? Number one, you don't know that there was anything wrong with it. And number two, what makes you think if there was something wrong with it that I wouldn't want it? Crazy. So, yeah, I was not looking forward to today. But she was very personable. She just, she didn't do that. I was a little concerned at first, because she was like, when I first went into the room, she was like, "Go ahead and have a seat on the couch." There was a couch in there, y'all. And I was like, oh no. The whole, laying on the couch and being analyzed thing. I didn't ask that, by the way, but man, I was like, so, but she was very personable, and she didn't make it seem like I was being analyzed. She did it more of, just kind of talking, like, "So how's this, she didn't do the, "Well, how does that make you feel?" kind of thing, which I hate. But she was nice. So she scheduled me to come back in 2 weeks, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give it at least a good several months, and hopefully it's gonna be a long haul, but hopefully we'll make some progress. So I will keep y'all updated, and I'll see you guys later.